I'm Je'Ron Hamm. I'm tight end for the San Francisco 49ers. And so football is my living right now. Well, seventh grade, pretty much all my friends played, so I decided to go out. I wasn't very good. They were, but I stuck with it because if I wasn't there, then I was bored. So I played and developed over the years, and high school really was when I finally got my chance to start. And ULM, Louisiana Monroe, is where I went, and they offered me a scholarship. So that's how that worked out. I didn't really expect to go to the NFL from there. It's a smaller school, but it worked out. The first day, so I initially signed with the Saints right out of ULM, and just walking in there the very first day we, went the process in, I was just in awe, like I'm really in the NFL. But that quickly goes out the window, and you realize it's time to work, and just trying to stay in the NFL as long as possible. Whatever team I could be on, I'd be glad to play. So I started there, and just really working to stay in, keeping my nose clean, and showing them that I was going to put the effort in because I was new to the position tight end. So that right there was already one thing against me. So just had to overcome that initially, but it's been going pretty good so far. Really time and the work that you had to put in. So when I got to college, on breaks I would usually run right home and try to get away from the weight room as fast as possible. So one off season I decided to stay with the older guys, and that's really when I started to realize that the work I put in was what I was going to get out. After that season, I had a great year, and just realized the more I worked, the better I became as a player. So some of the sacrifices just I can't go out and party with my friends when they're going, like the guys who don't play. Some trips that they take, I may have to stay and train and or study a playbook. And yeah, to me, it's not really a hard thing to do because I realize, where it's going to get me. Being confident is probably the biggest thing with sports, period. Because if you don't have confidence out there, then you just not you don't feel like yourself out there. Like you're more comfortable when you're confident in what you can do. I've had times when I lack confidence, and I could tell the difference in my game. And it's really not just something you can tell yourself I'm gonna be confident today or not. It's really something you got to work on and talk to yourself all day in the mirror or something like that. And I read a lot of books on trying to control, the way I felt and my confidence as well because I realized how big of a role it played in my performance. But just being confident is really things that you've done before. Like I've had a great game before, so those are the things I focus on, the good stuff that I've done, and that right there built my confidence. Like you know what, you can do this, you do this regularly, so it kind of just became a part of me in this whole process and getting to the NFL. Yeah, I had so like I said, I was with the Saints initially, right? And I had a injury in training camp, which sidelined me for the whole preseason, so I didn't get a chance to get any film. And they released me, right? So I had no film. I'm released. I'm a receiver trying to turn to tight end. The odds were against me because there are plenty of tight ends who've been playing it. And there was a 2 week period where I was just out of a job. I hadn't graduated college yet. I'm out of a job, so I don't have a career path to go down. I'm not in the NFL. And it's like, what do I do? And for those 2 weeks, I kind of just went to my friend's apartment. He went to UL Lafayette, and I slept on his couch and trying to figure things out. But the thing that kept me going was other people's success stories of how they overcome it, and how the only way that I can really fail is if I gave up. It's easy to tell somebody to be motivated, but how is the question? And to really find the things that do motivate you. So when it's time to think about giving up, my thing was think outside of myself. If I'm doing it just for me, then it's easier to give up than if I'm doing it to make someone else motivated or make my daughter motivated or to make my parents proud. You know what I'm saying? If I give up, then when she gets older, she's going to think it's okay for her to give up. Especially in the off season, it's easy to get in a lull and try to like me, I just sit around for a little bit, but I have to think about the work that got me to where I am. And I wasn't just sitting around in high school and college to get to the next level. So that snaps me back into reality. Even now, just the work ethic. I think to myself, continue doing what got you here. I had my high school coach. He doesn't know, but he was a guy who I really looked up to, and it was just because of the positivity that he fed us. You know, with coaching, I mean, he's coaching however many guys on the high school team. It's like 80 guys, but the words that he said to us, and just some of the lessons he taught us about, pushing, especially being young men, and how life would be for us later on, the real world, pretty much. And in high school, a lot of people don't want to hear that, and I didn't want to hear it, but I remembered. So when a lesson did come, or well, when something he talked about did come up in real life, I could think back to Coach Williams talked to us about this. And, I would just think about what was at hand. Um, like when it comes to bad decisions, what am I risking by making a bad decision? And like when I say that as an athlete, you see guys on the news for DUIs or drugs or anything like that, which are things we don't need. It's just something you kind of get caught up into. So it's really, what do I need more? Do I need this wild night out, or do I need a paycheck to support my family? And so that keeps it pretty simple for me. I just think about what's at hand and what I could lose versus what I'm gaining. Yeah, well, with me, I'm fortunate. My daughter has a two-parent home, so me and my girlfriend do a great job at communicating and giving each other time. So I like right now I have my daughter, my girlfriend's out, doing things she needs to handle, and vice versa. She does the same for me. So the just that communication, and if you don't have that, finding a good supporting cast to help you, along the way with whatever you may need. That's the thing. You need people in your corner who are going to help you get to where you want to be, as well as you help them get to where they want to be. So pretty much just support and communication. Communicating. I mean, we've had rough patches, so it's definitely one of those things. It's pretty much perseverance and getting through the hard times. When something going bad now, it's so common to just break up and let things go, especially in the social media age. It's so much more exposure for people in relationships, but just staying down to earth with each other, and remembering, why are we together, and not letting the outside noise get into the relationship, but most of all, communicating. And when something goes bad, work on it. We like to travel, so I mean, we have a few trips that we want lined up. I had an injury at the end of the season, so a few of our trips got canceled. But this summer, we just want to travel, probably take a cruise somewhere. One thing, and I read this, so I didn't come up with it, but before I read it, I hadn't realized this. But just taking time to appreciate the things that money can't buy. So just walk outside and realize that you're here for a reason. That family relationships, those things are priceless, and to take advantage of every opportunity you have to build on those things. So the things that money can't buy is where the true happiness is. So I say focus on those things and really take a moment to not think about money or a bill or something like that, but just be appreciative of where you are and that you're still here because somebody isn't.